What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dash. Come back to your own takes. Well, it's that time, you guys. It's the end of the year, and that means it's time for me to give you all my top 10 movies of the year. Now, this list, it was a doozy trying to put together because I saw so many movies throughout the year, some were streamed, and I'm gonna tell you, I think I came out with a pretty decent list. Whatever didn't make the top 10, I'll probably know some of them in the honorable mentions. So, you know what? With that said, let's go ahead and just jump into it. Number 10 is Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. I love this film. I love the overall range he gave. Of course, suburbia, house is burglarized, and all of a sudden we get the shift. I love the bus scene. Also, with that being said, I love that he trained for months at for this actual film. And I know he trained, I want to say, with Daniel Bernhardt, who's actually in the film and actually in that bus scene that I so enjoyed. That was very epic. How graphic that scene was with the fighting was really done so effortlessly. You would not know that he had trained that many months, but he showcased it really good in this film. Overall, him dealing, with what is it, like a Russian mob, crime, whatever, family type of thing, and just seeing some other cast members in this one that he was dealing with, like his, father and his brother, played by Christopher Lloyd and RZA. I was here for the cast. I was just everything about it. Just like I said, down for the little comedic, moments, the drama, the action. It was really good. I really enjoyed this. I will say this. I think towards the end, they kind of leave it open to our interpretation. They could possibly do another one because it was really done so good, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. So fingers are crossed at the possibility of that happening because I can't say it enough how much I did enjoy that one. So with that said, that's number 10. Number 9 is it's like No Time to Die. I almost got tongue tied. Now had to put that on here because I am a fan of the Bond series and I really did enjoy this film, being that this is the last fifth and final installment for Daniel Craig as James Bond. Went out doing what he does best, saving the world. And it was just really done really good. I'm sad to see the way that he had to go, but it is what it is. I kept trying to think of what could they do because it's almost like if he stayed alive, whatever, and all that, it's not like I'm gonna bring him back, but it's just like we got to move it along for whoever will be the next James Bond. Love the Aurora cast. Love seeing original and of course some new ones. The villain, it was all good. I just definitely get, sentimental because I enjoyed seeing when the first one came out. A lot of people didn't know how to take him because he didn't supposedly look how James Bond should look because we're so used to them looking probably more regal and the darker hair. But he came in and he owned that character and he made it his own, and I was here for it. So again, loved it. Suspenseful, drama, action, everything I want in my Bond film. I got it. Yes. So with that said, number 9. So number 8 is King Richard. I am totally a fan of Will, and Will knocked it out of the park with this one, playing Richard Williams, being, the very, firecracker father to the two girls, Venus and Serena Williams, staying on them to hone their craft with tennis and also getting an education. I just love that dynamic with the family. Him and, of course, his wife, played by Ingenue Ellis in the film, just being because I know a lot of people preferred it was going to be mostly just straight sitting around Venus and Rim, but it's like these two people played a part in these girls excelling in this sport to where they are now in their lives, and definitely the mother, but truly the dad being at the center as much as I think he was doing it literally full time watching while the mom was out, working whatever, not just taking care of stuff, with the home, whatever, and also with the other siblings. I love that dynamic. Just seeing the young girl, I want to say her name is Sania Sydney, who played Venus Williams. She did an amazing job. I love the amount of range of emotion she gave, especially between her scenes with her and Will Smith in the film. Just done so good, so good. I definitely got a little emotional watching it because you're just getting kind of like a behind the scenes look at the girls and how they just kind of showcase learning, wanting to prove to their father they can do this, they can play a game, always having that mentality, confidence of winning, and just I loved it. It was so good. So with that said, that was number 8. Number 7, this one was a doozy. Lamb, starring Numa Peace. That film was, yeah, that one was something. That was a doozy on it. Literally one of those ones where it leaves me kind of, dumbfounded, like, what am I watching? But really good, where it's, a childless couple living, working on a farm in Ireland and end up dealing with a situation with one of the lambs where you're thinking they're raising a kid, but no, you're raising an animal and definitely some supernatural beings, happening, some, definitely some evil arising. And I'm gonna tell you, some evil, all right, within this film, because within the scene towards the end, it just literally had my mouth drop and still trying to not unsee what I saw because I'm like, really? But yes, it was really good. It definitely kept me intrigued. Definitely dealing with a lot of emotional factors with Numa Reese's character, which she definitely has range with that. I love a lot of the films that she makes. She does such great work. So yes, that was one right there. Like I said, it's always one film where just literally just like you scratching your head, like what did I just watch? And that one was that for me. So with that said, number 6 is Malignant. I had to put it on the list. I love me some horror, and this one being kind of like I get a vibe of like a Giallo slash maybe like an '80s, 80s horror, B horror type of film from that. And being that we didn't know for a long time what kind of film this was going to be because the storyline really was kept under the wraps. But in the end, I truly enjoyed this one. James Wan, I love the types of areas he goes when he's dealing with horror, and this one was wild from beginning to end. I mean, down to I say honestly, sometimes the cheesy dialogue. I love the music, the scenes. Uh, Gabriel was just a beast, like totally out of control, but I was here for it. Certain scenes, and there's one particular scene where it just went totally, just got out of control. But again, I was here for it. So again, thank you, James Wan. I can't say it enough. I'm always here to see what he gets, puts out, and I was very happy with what I got in the end result with that. So with that said, that was number 6. Number 5 is Dune. All I can say is I enjoyed this adaptation, but I want more. I did enjoy this one. I love the music from Hans Zimmer. I just everything about it, the visuals, cinematography, everything, costuming, everything was so good and effortlessly done in this film. The cast, of course, love the scenes with Jason Momoa. Definitely with Chalamet and Ferguson. I love the scene between mother and son dynamic. Zendaya as well, Oscar Isaac, Javier Bardem. The cast really, I mean, just the overall cast was just great. I mean, like I said, they just set it up because I know we're getting the next installment, and I think they said probably I think it's 2023, and it can't come any faster. But I look forward to seeing what we're in store for, and I look forward to seeing that trailer when it does come out because this visually just yeah, and definitely the scenes with Jason Momoa, the action scenes was so good. So it just left me wanting more. So again, truly enjoy this one. So with that said, and number 4 is The Last Duel. Really did enjoy this film, dealing on a certain particular time, definitely dealing with a certain era in regards to also a certain situation. And all I can say is her name was a Jodie Comer. She did an amazing job, you guys, in this film. Being that we had to foresee her go through this particular situation a couple of times throughout the film, where we're getting, a certain interpretation from individuals of how the scene or how this incident happened. Definitely heavy and a lot to constantly have to keep watching multiple times, but her range in showcasing it, and I love her dialogue and scenes with both Adam Driver and definitely with her husband, played by Matt Damon in the film. Definitely good. Yes, I love the duel. I loved how it ended. It was so good the way it ended. Sorry, Driver. So yes, visuals, costuming, everything was done so good in this film. I can't say it enough how much I truly enjoyed that film. Now, number 3, Spider-Man: No Way Home. Love that film. It was so good. I just the amount of emotions that happened throughout that film, going from, just, happy, laughter, sadness, everything. The range with Tom in this film, he brought his A game with this film. I love that we got to have somewhat pretty much fan service, getting some of the old villains back onto the screen. Love that. Love seeing two other Spideys come back, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. I was just so excited. I literally lost it when I saw Tobey Maguire because I love his films. So this one, I just loved it. And like I stated, the range, you know, the emotions, coming from all three of them, remembering certain incidents that happened and losing a loved one. I was just here for it. And like I said, the action, Defoe bringing his A game as Goblin, bringing his A game and hearing that he did his own stunts. Yeah, is the man 70? I think he is. I could be wrong by age bracket, but I think I might not be. That right there in itself, I love that. So, so good. Yeah, it was gonna be on the list. There was no way I was gonna put it on the list. I'm a Spider-Man fan, so I already knew it was gonna be on the list. So yes, I truly enjoyed that film. I really want to see it again very soon, but I'm just really excited because I look forward to just putting it in the collection so I can watch it at home whenever I want. So but yes, that one is number three. Number two is Last Night in Soho. I love that film. I'm such a fan of Edgar Wright's movies. This one, just the era of circa 1960s were all in her mind per se. Of course, with the cast, Thomasin McKenzie, Anya Taylor-Joy, Matt Smith, Terrence Stamp, Diana Rigg, just everything. I just love that film. You know, her being able to have visions and see things, and being that she goes into that particular era and coming across a woman who's trying to, break out, be a star singing and all that, and then pretty much, is, kind of used and hustled out with a particular character played by Matt Smith, and things kind of, eventually take a turn with her. More and more she delves in and goes into this, particular 60s era and all that. It starts to come back to haunt her in certain instances. And overall, like I said, the visuals, the music, I loved it. I loved just the cinematography, everything. It was just so, so good. I just can't say it enough. And rest in peace to Diana Rick. She recently passed, and she was done so well in this film. I just love that what the reveal was towards the end with the film, but just everything about it. It was one of those most anticipated films for me. So when it got pushed back, I was so beyond pissed. But when it finally came out, just to go see it in the theater was so good. So, so good. I can't say so, so enough. It really was that good to me. Now, my last and final film, number one, is Nightmare Alley. I loved that film. I'm a fan of Del Toro, so I might be a little biased, but he puts out such amazing work. And this cast, Bradley Cooper, Kate Blanchett, Rooney Mara, Ron Perlman, Tony Collette, just to name a few. This, I know Willem Dafoe was in this one too. Yes, I mean I can keep going on because there's a couple of other people. Richard Jenkins. I'm trying to make sure I'm just remembering names as I go. Just an amazing cast, and just Bradley Cooper bringing his truly his A game in this film. Pretty much where he's guy coming into town amongst a carnival, intertwines himself with the people, and kind of learning things. Getting a little bit of more to add to his hustle, and then taking on his persona, but then getting to the point where he really you know kind of loses his way, loses good judgment, abuses it, especially with the one scene in the film where it's discussed, with him using a particular book and not using it, the wrong way and spooking people. Just, certain words that we use, keywords, and him kind of, looking like he's listening, but really didn't listen and had to learn the hard way, kind of how it kind of goes. And like I said, the visuals, costuming, the era that they used from this, I'm going to say, just it was done so well. And I love the scenes between him and Kate Blanchett. Kate Blanchett, excuse me, I'm going to get her name correctly. Just, I just love me some her. She was phenomenal in this film. I just love how the both of them with the mind games, just trying to one up, but mostly the way he engaged her from the first introduction to her and how she came back tenfold to him, and just yeah, and got one over on him. Just done so, so, so good. It Yeah, I just should make a shirt. So, so good. It really was. I really did enjoy it, and I loved his scenes also with Rooney Mara. I loved their scenes together, being that they worked together in the way they did in their scenes together, working, and also being that they were a couple. And just like I said, him losing his way and taking advantage of situations and taking advantage of her when it comes to getting certain things done in regards to the job and all that, eventually coming to a head, and then him humbling himself, in a situation down the road within the film. Yeah, I really Bradley Cooper really did the thing in this film. I really feel like him. He might get nominated for Oscar because he really did an amazing job in this film. So I can't say enough about it. I think I said enough, really. So yes, those are my top 10, you guys. So with that said, I'm just going to note up here my honorable mentions, but I'm just going to throw out some names of just the names of them, just out of reach. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah, it was not on the top 10, but it's in the honorable mentions. I'm going to list at the first one just to discuss because I'm just happy that Zack Snyder got to put out what he really wanted to put out for the film. I love all of the characters and they all got to shine, which I was so here for, and I enjoyed that. nobody was upset that it was 4 hours. We were here for it because we want to see all of the scenes that we did not get to see, that we felt like we were robbed. And I agree. When I think about what they gave us compared to what we got from his, yeah, we were robbed, and it was just so good when I watched it at home. I ended up watching it again the next day, and then I watched it, I think the day after that. Yeah, I watched it like 3 days in a row, back to back. And you would think, being that it is 4 hours, yes, I did. I just had to. It was because it was so much in regards to the way the storyline was being told that we were missing out on. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm glad that we did get this particular cut, because it was, I won't even say, because I said I'll probably say something really bad about the first one, but I'm just gonna just keep it clean. But yes, this one, loved it. Another one I'm gonna put on the list, Riders of Justice. If you're a Mads Mikkelsen fan, you already know, a good film. I love that. Love The Night House, starring Rebecca Hall. Love that film. All I can say, you guys, if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. It's a really good film. Ghostbusters Afterlife. I mean, fan service for me, nostalgia. I was here for it. Seeing all some of the original characters, loved it. I love that last scene with Murray and Weaver. I just love that scene. The Harder They Fall. I'm always here for a good western, and that cast did not disappoint me. Truly love that. The Green Knight. I enjoyed that one. Dev Patel did an amazing job in that film. Another one, Antlers, loved it. Kerry Russell, I cannot remember the young boy's name, but he did an amazing job with the amount of, scenes, the overall dialogue, his range and emotions. He just did an amazing job. My kudos for not remembering his name, but that was a good film. I love that it was based off of a short story that he made into a feature film. And honestly, the way it's left open towards the end, it can be made. They could do a second one if they wanted to. I almost hope they do. The potential is there if they just add on and just work on the storyline, add a little bit more extra to it. But in the end, a good film. Black Widow. I'm here for it. I love me some Natasha. I love me some Scarlett Johansson, and her character throughout with the Avengers. I was happy she finally got a tie-in with the timeline with all the films and her moment to shine. And I was not disappointed. I loved her scenes, action wise, comedic timing with some of the other characters in the film. Her sister, her father, and her mother. Just, yeah, I just loved everything about the film. It was really good. And the last one I did enjoy was Cruella. I was here for both those two Emmas bringing their A game. One being more meaner than the other, but the other one rising to the occasion to be more meaner to her mother, no less, in the end when it's revealed. But such a good film. Just overall storyline, the costumes, everything, the music, such a good film. So those are my honorable mentions. So again, like I stated before, like I said, some of those didn't make the top 10, but I put the ones that truly I did enjoy. I probably saw them multiple times. And I just want to at least note some things in honorable mention so you guys know, yes, there were some other things I did see. And there probably some stuff that I didn't put on the list, probably didn't get a chance to see it. Girl does have multiple jobs. So yes, I'm actually happy with this list. So with that said, comment below. I would love to know what your top 10 are. And if you got some honorable mentions, please put them in out here so I can kind of go back and forth so we can chat about it. And with that said, I will see you guys on the next video. You guys take care.